Does Jennifer Aniston take vitamins? I mean,
Oh my God.
is the Pope Catholic?
There's a regiment, guys.
It's
This doesn't
exhausting.
happen just by accident. She's pumped full of
I'm
supplements.
filled with B12s and C's
Like
and
a
all
veal.
sorts of, D.
Oh yeah, welcome back everybody. Welcome back to another hot episode of a very special podcast. This is the podcast which talk about all of your favorite TV series from yesteryear and then discuss it over a glass of, I don't know, just some random bottle I picked up at a deli at 4 a.m. I'm your boy, Patrick M. Dunn, and I'm joined here, as always, by my science experiment, Kat Halstead, the author.
What the fuck, man? Science experiment?
I mean, I couldn't call you the seed guy.
No, you couldn't. Thank God, because you definitely would have gotten a nice little flip-off.
Yes, and in case you haven't figured it out, those are going to be tie-ins to today's main event. Yes, today's main event. Round it off.
Yes.
What month, Kat Halstead, the author?
Jason Bateman January!
Yes.
Which I'm sure everybody thought we were just joking about, and then we actually did it.
Yeah, we came through. Oh, what a month. It's been a month. We started at the beginnings, the humble beginnings with the Hogan family. Then we took a trip through some of his failed sitcoms, like Chicago Suns and Some of My Best Friends.
To be fair, I think both of those shows had potential.
They did, but they were failed.
Yeah.
Netflix ain't clamoring for, we're going to pick up a second season all these years later, like they did with Arrested Development. No.
They should definitely do it for Chicago Sun.
I was going to say, if you had to pick between the two, which one do you want to gleefully see come back?
Chicago Suns, totally.
And recast David Krumholtz? I feel like we could use a new guy. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like it'd be just too depressing otherwise.
You went on. You had your time in the sun. You had what was he had? Numbers? Was that the show he did for like 10 years?
I think so. Listen, I'm just gonna remind you that he is one, the villain in the Santa Claus movies
Yes.
as Bernard, and two, he's the bastard who killed Lucy on ER and damaged Carter forever.
Now Carter's damaged goods. No one wants him anymore. Return to sender. Ugh.
Poor Carter.
It's like, you know what? He just goes on a date and he's like, it's his first date with somebody. He's like, hey, can I tell you about my dead girlfriend who's murdered in the hospital I work at by David Krumholtz?
And she wasn't even my girlfriend.
They weren't dating then?
No, they never actually dated, but there was always like this romantic sexual tension between them.
Oh, it's like Billy and Allison on the first season of Melrose Place.
Yes.
It's like, come on, guys, hurry up, because I was just looking at the spoiler alert, so I saw that Lucy's leaving soon, so you better get the show on the road.
For real.
We don't got time. I'm trying to remember. What was it, like late 90s when they killed off Lucy? Early 2000s?
2001, somewhere in there, I think. I'm just fuzzy right now.
Yeah. Did we?
Did
you know this was going to happen? Like, when you rolled in?
No, you didn't.
Okay.
You didn't know. You had no fucking clue.
So you just thought it was going to be a regular old episode?
Yeah, you're just watching an episode, and then, they're having their little Valentine's Day party in the ER, everybody's having cake and maybe, some sparkling juice or something. You cut to Carter goes to, find Lucy and apologize to her or something. Because I think they fought earlier.
Yeah, they had a tiff.
And he's in the room and he gets stabbed in the back by David Krumholtz.
Oh, my God.
He drops to the floor and he looks over and he sees Lucy surrounded by blood.
Ugh.
And then the next episode is Romano and Alex trying to, save Lucy through surgery. She makes it through the first surgery, and she's in, the recovery, and then just,
So, did we know she was leaving the show then? I can't remember. Did we have any...
We didn't. I don't think we did. I feel like this is back when, stuff like this was, still kind of kept quiet. The one thing I've read is that Kelly Martin was, called her, fiance, who's now her husband at the time, was don't let my mom watch the show.
Oh, yeah.
Don't let her watch tonight. I can't tell you why, but like, let's not let Mom watch.
Did they film an alternate ending where like Lucy?
I don't know. I think it was just one of those like. Kelly knew she was leaving. Kelly had asked to leave because there was stuff going on in her personal life.
Yeah, where's she been?
But like, you still don't want your mother to see you like surrounded by blood on TV.
Where's Kelly Martin been? We haven't seen her in, I don't know, eons.
She does Hallmark movies and stuff now.
Oh, she one of them gals? Her and Candace Cameron Bure?
Yeah, she actually has like a few series, like I think she has one of the mystery series or something, which, as we know, is not like my forte in Hallmark. I'm more of the Saturday rom-com
She have a...
gal.
She had like the Amy Teagarden mysteries or something, what the hell it is.
Well, that's Candace Cameron.
Oh, that's, I don't know. You know, you can tell I don't watch any of that
Aurora
stuff.
Teagarden or something.
Aurora Teagarden, that's it. Okay. Oh, what a name. What a fake name. Okay, what are we doing today to finish off the greatest month in all of time? Jason Bateman January. What are we doing?
Closing out Jason Bateman January with one of his movies. I feel like this is kind of the era where Jason Bateman started to like really make big name movies again. Because, you know, like he did some when he was a teen, and then he kind of just the 90s were kind of just this period where like he was constantly working, but it wasn't like big name stuff.
No, he was always, I don't know, maybe like the brother-in-law or something, or the son-in-law or something and something.
Yeah, like even like he was in the movie, I believe he was in The Breakup. I think he plays Jennifer Aniston's brother in that or something.
Yeah, Jennifer Aniston and Jason Bateman have this like illustrious friendship that spans, I don't know, like 3 decades, I think.
Yeah, they've known each other since she was like 25.
Which was when? Like 25 years ago? Like she's like what, 50 now? Early 50s?
Yeah, that's probably about 25 years. Wow.
Great times. All right, so what are we doing? We're just kind of like beating around the bush.
We're just gonna like we're doing the movie The Switch.
Yes, which
is not where he switches bodies with Ryan Reynolds.
No, I totally thought we were gonna be doing that movie when you brought it up. So like I had it, like I watched it, and then I'm just
I've never seen that one.
I'm like, wait a second, this isn't actually called The Switch. I was confused when it started, and then I actually like Googled The Switch, and then I saw this was a rom-com with Jason Bateman and Jennifer Aniston, and it's actually like a Jennifer Aniston movie more than a Jason Bateman movie, but it might be a Jason Bateman movie. I don't know. It's confusing.
Okay, so I would say that when the movie came out, it sold itself more as a Jennifer Aniston movie.
Yeah, she gets top billing.
But really, Jason Bateman is the lead.
Yeah, he's the narrator, I believe. He narrates the whole tale.
Yeah, he's the narrator. He's the lead character. Like, it's his story more than it's hers.
Well, I mean, I think Jason Bateman was a name by this point, because, I mean, Juno had already come out. He was kind of big on that, and he did a few other things here and there.
I mean, this is what I'm going to say, is that Jason Bateman's a name. He's a very recognizable name, because you think about it, we've been seeing his name since the 80s.
Yes.
But the draw at the box office was going to be Jennifer.
Okay.
Over Jason. Because she's Jennifer freaking Aniston, and you know, she's one of America's sweethearts.
Yeah, you might be right, because I'm looking between Juno was 07, and then he has cameos in Forgetting Sarah Marshall, Tropic Thunder, and something called The Invention of Lion. But all the other movies, like Up in the Air, that's that weird like airport movie, right?
Up in the Air, isn't that the one with George Clooney and Anna Kendrick?
Yeah.
Where she like got the Oscar nom and everything?
Yeah, isn't it like he's stuck in an airport or something? Isn't that the
No.
What the fuck is Up in the Air then? What am I thinking of?
Up in the Air is the one where they're like traveling consultants or something, and they go to like these different companies to be like, to figure out who should actually still have jobs there. Like if there's a company that's going to make some big layoffs, they go in and they interview people, and then they're like, okay, well, these 3 are fired, you 4 are demoted, and this one guy gets a raise, gets promoted, or kind of thing.
Am I thinking of a Tom Hanks movie?
I think you are.
What am I thinking of? Like, what's the Trapped in the Airport movie?
I'm pretty sure it's called, like, The Airport. I could be completely wrong, but there's, like, the one where he's, like, the immigrant guy whose country, like, dissolves while he's on the way to the U.S., and he gets, like, stuck at the airport for, like, 7 years.
Yeah, it's the terminal. That's what it's called.
Yeah, because they're like, we can't like let you pass this point because your country doesn't exist. So yeah.
Yes. So that is not Up in the Air with George Clooney and Andrew Kendrick is not that movie. Not that movie. And The Switch is not the movie where Ryan Reynolds and Jason Bateman pee in a fountain and have a Freaky Friday scenario. It's not that movie. Instead, it's a movie that is even far more hard to explain.
Oh my god.
All right, I'm going to throw this out there. I have never seen this movie. I vaguely remember it being a thing. And I think we talked about it maybe a month ago when we plotted it. And I completely forgot the plot of the movie
Yeah.
until I started watching it. I started it last night. I finished it this morning because I kept getting sleepy. And I'm going to let you explain a quick summary of the movie because
Okay.
this is wild. Are you sitting down, folks? Are you sitting down? You better be.
I hope you're sitting down, because
Yeah.
woo-wee. Okay. So we have Wally and Cassie. They are very good friends. They are probably like their best guy and gal friends, okay? They had dated at one point, and for whatever reason, it just didn't work out at the time. But they both have pretty much carried a torch for the other throughout.
Yeah, it's like Jerry and Elaine. Like Jerry and Elaine.
Yes.
Sorta.
And it gets to a point where in life where Cassie is like, she wants to be a mom, she wants to have a kid, but she realizes, she's tired of waiting for the perfect guy to come along and like do this with. So she's like, I'm just gonna, I'm gonna get a sperm donor, I'm gonna get inseminated, and I'm gonna have a kid. So like, she goes on this weird search, and like she has to like she has this weird condition where she wants to like actually know the donor so that like if at any point the kid later has questions, she can contact them. So she finds like this guy Roland who's married, and the wife is supposedly cool with him donating his sperm and all this, and she has a wild insemination party, which is like one of the wildest things I have ever seen in a movie.
Oh, it's like a Lana Del Rey music video come to life. I don't even know how to describe it. There's like weird little crowns in it. That's great.
The best way to describe it is just ridiculous New Yorker.
So Jason Bateman, he's kind of like secretly in love with her all these years, but not really sure how to.
Yeah, he's secretly in love with her, and he like doesn't know how to tell her. I think like that's the biggest like thing between them is that they neither knew how to vocalize that they were in love with the other through all this time, so they were just friends.
During the insemination party, Jason Bateman gets extra lit. He like blackout drunk. He goes into the bathroom. He finds a cup of semen.
Yes.
And he empties it out.
Sitting on a candle warmer.
On a little Scentsy candle warmer. He empties it out, drips it down the toilet, and then just blows a load into it and forgets all about it because he was blackout drunk and didn't even realize he did that. Mm-hmm. And then flash forward 7 years later, he meets this child for the first time, and it's like looking at a mirror. It's like looking at a mirror.
Oh my god,
we just kind of spoiled the movie, but...
I mean, yeah, but you know what? It's an enjoyable movie, and it's better than the short story it was written on.
Oh yeah, so it's based on a short story written by the guy who wrote The Virgin Suicides, right?
So, like, a cranky white guy who has probably had things for really beautiful women who don't give him the time of day throughout his entire life, so he writes these stupid stories.
Yes, and it was originally published in 1996 in The New Yorker. You can actually Google it.
It's called Baster.
Baster. Yes, like a turkey baster.
Sunset Beach!
I know, right? I was wondering why the other day you were saying, do turkey basters always remind you of Sunset Beach, ? And I was like, where is this coming from? Like, it's not Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And then it hit me.
Oh my god. Okay.
All right. So before we get into the movie,
okay.
I know it's Jason Bateman January, but do you want to do a quick Jennifer Aniston jubilee?
Sure.
All right. I got the top 5 grossing Jennifer Aniston movies. These are the movies that she was in that made the big bucks.
Let's see how many of these I've seen.
All right. Coming in at number 5, a year after this movie came out, It's a little movie. It's actually not really her movie, but she's in it. Horrible Bosses.
It's another Jason Bateman flick.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. She's a like a dentist, like an angry dentist, I guess, who's just I don't know, likes to make her employees miserable.
Well, she's like sexually harassing the guy from Always Sunny.
Yeah, Charlie Day. She just wants to straddle him, and he's like, no, like, you're my boss, and she just keeps going at it.
Like, no, I have a wife. I have, like, get away from me, lady.
Have you ever seen this one movie? I've never even heard of this movie. It came out the same year as Horrible Bosses. A little movie called Just Go With It.
That's with Adam Sandler.
Yes. What's it about? Do you know?
I've seen it multiple times. She is, like, his, like, office assistant at, his doctor's office, or like his nurse. Like,
Adam Sandler is a doctor?
It's him and her.
What?
Yeah. He's like the plastic surgeon type doctor.
Okay.
And she's like the nurse slash office manager. She's got 2 kids. He meets like this younger woman, and the girl thinks he's like divorced and has kids. So he like tells Jennifer that he will pay for her and the kids to go on vacation so he can seem like the cool family guy and like woo this new girl, but then he realizes he's been in love with Jennifer like the whole time.
Oh, it's one of those movies. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, your typical Adam Sandler fare. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Any guesses at number 3?
The Object of My Affection.
No, that's not even on the list. Marley and Me.
Damn it.
Marley and Me.
Okay.
This was I've never seen it.
I couldn't make it through that one.
I've never seen it.
I couldn't do it.
I know the dog dies, so I didn't really check it out.
Yeah.
Has like Owen Wilson or Luke Wilson. One of the Wilsons are in it.
No, it's Owen. It's Owen.
Okay, the one with the weird nose, right?
Yeah.
All right, any guesses for number 2? This one actually caught me by surprise. I wasn't expecting this to be in the top 5 top grossing Jennifer Aniston films.
Picture Perfect.
No, I wish. We're the Millers.
Damn it.
From 2013.
Oh, I love that one.
This is Jason Sudeikis? Is that how you say his name? Sudeikis. And Ed Helms from The Office is in it, I think, and Emma Roberts, and I don't know. Don't they like pretend they're a family and they're like on the run? They're on the lam.
They're on the run. They're pretend to be a family.
I remember this. Yeah. I remember this coming out, and I remember it was called We're the Millers. And then, the same year, a CBS show or something called The Millers came out, and I was expecting that to be this show, and this movie, and I was watching the show. I'm like, where are they fugitives? Like, when do they become fugitives? What am I missing here?
Oh my god! I just want to say that The Millers was one of CBS's gems that they totally did not give enough attention to. The second season, they just were like, "Nope, we're just gonna pull it."
I don't know. Maybe well, it'll forever live on CBS All Access. I don't even know if it's still on there, to be honest with you.
I don't think it's on there.
I feel like I've seen it somewhere recently, though.
I can't even find the Joe McHale show on CBS All Access.
Oh, The Great Outdoors or something?
That he did. Yeah. I loved that one, too.
I don't know.
I felt that one in my core.
You did. I remember you were like the only fan. You're like the only fan of that show out there. I think it was you and, I don't know, the McHale family watching it.
Probably.
All right. Any guesses for the top grossing Jennifer Aniston film of all time? I'll give you a hint. It made $485 million at the box office in 2003. That's a lot of smackers right there.
2003.
Yeah. I'm going to throw this out there. It's not. I wouldn't really call it a Jennifer Aniston movie, but she's in it.
She's still on Friends, so ooh.
Nearing the end. We're doing the last couple of laps, I think, on Friends.
I can't think of what it is. I'm going to kick myself.
Bruce Almighty.
Oh.
I think she's like in it for like 10 minutes total, to be honest with you.
I mean, yeah, because she's like his ex-girlfriend, and he gets like the powers of
God.
And the only thing I remember about this movie is that there's a scene where like Jennifer Aniston is like curled up like on the bed or something, and she's like praying, and because Bruce Almighty can like hear everything, he's like, damn, she prays a lot.
I just remember there's a scene where Jim Carrey's dressed up like Mark Twain at like a Mark Twain contest, like lookalike contest or something. I just remember that one scene for some reason. It just stands out in my head. I don't know. Mm-hmm. Like, I always just feel like someday I want to be Jim Carrey as Mark Twain for Halloween. I'll find a pic for it. I'll find a pic and send it to you later. It's great. It's funny. I think there's like he causes like a meteor because he's like a news anchor,
Okay.
and so he was like reporting on the like the Mark Twain lookalike contest, and then all of a sudden because he's God, he makes a meteor like explode into the background behind him because he's just trying to get those ratings. Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
So that's the top 5 grossing Jennifer Aniston films of all time. What do you give that list? How many Mark Twain lookalikes on a scale of 1 out of 5?
I'm actually really not impressed with that list. Like, she's made so many other, like, better movies than, like, what's in the top 5.
I always feel like she just throws a bunch of stuff at the wall and sees what sticks, kind of. Like, that's what I feel like her career is like.
I love her earlier movies, though. Like, I love Picture Perfect.
Yeah, her and Jay Moore.
Yeah, and I love The Object of My Affection, but, woo! I know that if, like...
Paul Rudd?
No, yeah, Paul Rudd. Where he's, like, the gay roommate, and she has, like, feelings for him, and she gets pregnant by Ira from Mad About You.
Yeah, what the fuck was that? Ira from Mad About You and Jennifer Aniston in a movie together in 1997-ish.
Yeah, oh my god. Oh, I wish I had that movie on DVD. Oh, I want to watch the movie so bad. But you know what? Audiences today, like if, say, like some 16-year-old girl was like, I'm going to watch like every Jennifer Aniston movie, and she came across that one, ooh, there would be Tumblr posts about that one. Like,
Oh, yeah.
oh,
You know what? She really got into the second season of the morning show, and she's like, I want to see what this Jennifer Aniston. I don't even know who she is. Who is she? I want to see what her
like, what did she do?
yeah. I want to see what her life is like. I want to revisit all of her cinematic choices.
What's a soap opera? What is this thing about her father being on a soap opera?
Oh yeah, her father's the old guy on Days of Our Lives. What's his name?
Victor Kiriakis.
Victor, who's still on it, right? Isn't he still on the show?
Yeah, he's still on.
He's like 92 now, and they just prop him up in a chair and I don't know, he like mutters something.
And he's like always like, how dare you? Like his character got stabbed not too long ago, and you know.
What?
Yeah.
Who would stab like a 92-year-old man in Salem?
Kristen DeMira.
What the fuck, Kristen DeMera? What were you thinking? He's a gentle old man. They literally could just film like 30 years of him just sitting on the couch reacting to things and just keep his character alive forever, like long after. Is his name Vincent? Is that his name, Vincent Aniston or something?
John
Aniston.
Yeah, John Aniston.
We love you. We stan you. You're the greatest. Stick around for a long time, Victor. Kiriakis, whatever the hell you said his last name was. Salem needs you.
It's Kiriakis.
Salem needs you. You know what? You kept Lucas on the straight and narrow all those years. I don't know if he did or not, but we'll assume he did.
I mean, he was Lucas's like stepdad at one point.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Is Vic just still married to that lady who's always on it? I can't think of her name right now.
Maggie?
Yeah, Maggie. Is she still around?
Yes.
Oh, God. These people, they just need to move out of town. If they knew what's good for them, they'd move out of town and never come back.
I mean, Salem is home to quite a few serial killers.
That is true. Do they still have late night scenes in the cemetery whenever they can?
I don't know if I've seen any cemeteries. I haven't been watching as much lately, though. Just because I've been busy doing other stuff.
I feel like I'll dip in every year or two, and there's always like a late night cemetery scene. They're like digging up a body, and I'm like, what is going on in this town? Like, why are they always exhuming bodies?
I mean, to be fair, Linda Dano is about to start airing as Vivian Alabane, and Vivian loves a good cemetery dig up.
Ooh, yes. All right. You know what? I want the day that she does a cemetery dig up. I want you to do like a cemetery dig up alert, a Salem cemetery dig up alert.
It's gonna be like the weirdest message you ever get because you're gonna be like, "What the fuck are you talking about, Kat?"
It's gonna be like 8 months from now. All right. All right. Enough about Salem. We'll save our talk for when we do the episode where Sammy gets hit by a car, pretends to have amnesia for like 4 years. All right. So let's get into this wild world of the cinematic masterpiece.
That is The Switch.
The Switch. I must say, I couldn't remember the name of it for a minute. I was like, all right, where do we begin? Like, where do we start? What's going on?
It's like, just like, I guess a spring day in New York City. We got Wally just talking about, like, stuff, and he's gonna go to lunch, and he's meeting up with Cassie, who at lunch is like, I'm going to get pregnant. I'm going to find a sperm donor. And, like, Wally is a little offended because he's like, well, what about me? She's like, no.
All right. That is definitely not a lunch conversation because he's like, they're both on their lunch breaks from work?
Yeah, they're both, like, on their lunch break. She's, like, a news producer. He's, like, some Wall Street hotshot.
Yeah, all right. So the way that she like presents this idea to him, she picks up like the stock report from that day from the local like Wall Street Journal or something, and she like holds it up to Wally. That's his name, right? Wally.
Yeah, Wally.
And she's like, "What do you see here? What do you see here?" And he's like, "Oh, it's I wouldn't definitely buy. I'd probably sell." And then she's like, all right, do you know what I see here? I see my fertility rate is dropping because I just went to the doctors and
Okay.
my doctor told me I only have a few good years left. I only have a few good years.
To be fair, if we like say that the character at this point is like 35, yeah, she only has like a few, like she's basically in geriatric pregnancy period already almost, you know?
Yeah, I was doing the math. I did the math earlier. Hold on. Let me bring up my data, my hot data. So,
oh God,
this came out in 2010.
Mm-hmm.
Aniston would have been 41. So the movie opens up 7 years prior. So we'll say she's like 35, 36-ish.
Yeah.
So yeah, I could see her being a little concerned, a little worried. You know, she hasn't had any potential suitors come her way. And the only, like, the few who do, like, they're duds, right?
Yeah, like they're not it. They're like
Not it at all?
No, not it at all. So she's like explaining that as she gets older, her ability to conceive drastically drops. Like she's at that point where she's got like a good year before it's like completely like downhill. And she's gone to the doctor and like all her like levels are like in a good place. She's just got to find like the sperm donor.
Yeah.
But she doesn't want Wally's sperm.
Yeah, he kind of is like slyly raises his hand. He's like, "What about me?" And she laughs, and she's like, "Oh man, you're so neurotic. You're so weird. I just fear the child that you would spawn. It would just be some tiny version of you, and I cannot deal with that. I couldn't go through with it." And he's kind of hurt. He's like, but you know what? He still wants to bone her, so he's like sticking around.
Yeah, like, I mean, okay. If they're best friends, I think it's just kind of assumed that, like, she would at least ask, hey, would you consider, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know what her friend pool is like. I mean, we know that she hangs out with Juliette Lewis. That's like her BFF, right?
Yeah, which is just
all right.
The wild, crazy BFF who is into whatever the latest trend is, even though she's like 15 years too old for it.
Okay. I love myself some Juliette Lewis. I feel like if this movie came out in the 90s, she probably would have been the character. Not even the 90s. This came out like a few years earlier, like maybe 10 years earlier. Like she would have been the girl in the movie.
What do you mean, the girl? Like,
how old is Juliette Lewis? I feel like Juliette Lewis is like hella old for some reason. I don't know why.
Okay, she's definitely older than us.
Okay.
That's what I think she's a good 5 years older than us.
What? No. I feel like I was like 10 years old and she was like a 30-year-old woman.
I'm going to find out. Hold on.
I feel like she's a lot older than you think she is.
8 years older than us.
Wow, I thought it was a lot older than that.
This is basically what Scientology does to people. It destroys them. It ages them.
I just remember being really young and just seeing her in movies and just thinking that she was just this adult. like
here's the thing though, I think she's one of those actresses who when she was like 18 she was playing people way older in a lot of ways, the same way Jennifer Lawrence was. Like Jennifer Lawrence was like 18 playing like a character whose husband had been dead for 3 years, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, she's a widow.
Yeah.
Her husband died in Vietnam.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah,
and it takes place in modern days. I love it. I guess I just like I was watching this and I was like, you know what? If this movie came out like a decade earlier, Juliette Lewis totally would have been the Jennifer Aniston character. But I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe not.
No, it would have been Juliette Lewis. It would have been Julia Roberts.
Oh yeah. Okay. I don't know. I thought Julia Roberts and like Juliette Lewis were, like peers. Like they went to high school together.
No.
I don't know. What do I know?
Destroying Patrick's world in 2021.
Juliette Lewis is like the weird, quirky friend. They must have worked together at some point in time. They are two completely different people. I don't know how they...
I think she's like the weird, quirky friend is like the makeup person at the news department that Jennifer Aniston works at. You know, the one who puts the powder on them so they're not shiny and they don't look like total shit on camera.
They don't look like Bozo the Clown.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I could see that. Yeah, and she's just kind of this, like, trendy older lady.
She's that friend who's always into the new MLM. She's like, oh, essential oils are everything. It will cure everything. It's like, yeah, no, I just use peppermint essential oil because I like my clothes to smell like peppermint.
She's totally an anti-vaxxer.
Oh, totally.
She probably doesn't wear a mask in public. It's like the woman at the restaurant who argues with that poor hostess who's making no money at all. Just to be like, I'm just here to follow the rules, ma'am.
No. She's totally that woman who's like in the Walmart on her cell phone, no mask, talking and moving her face everywhere. So her germs are just like spreading everywhere. And you just want to look at her and be like, bitch, put your fucking mask on.
Yep. But in 2010, or 7 years before 2010, in 2003, she was wearing a floral headdress way before Lana Del Rey even dreamed of having a career.
Yeah, like before, what's the festival?
Coachella.
Yeah, Coachella, like before Coachella style was a thing.
I'm sorry, Cella. It's Cella. The cool kids call it Cella.
I'm far from a cool kid.
Oh no, she's into weird astrology, numerology probably. She's into the cosmos. Not the Sarah Jessica Parker drink, but this spatial alignment, planetary alignment.
Damn, a good Cosmo. Woo. It's been so long since I've had a good Cosmo.
Well, when we do Sarah Jessica Parker August, we'll show they're flowing.
Oh please, like we'll still be doing theme months after this.
I know. I'm like, all right. So what's going on in Juliette Lewis and Cassie's world?
Cassie like finds a donor. It's this guy Roland who's like an assistant professor. He's got a wife who is like totally cool.
He's played by that guy who's always in the Conjuring movies.
You know, he's got a wife who's like totally cool, but not really with him donating his semen.
I think I like dozed off for a few minutes. How did she find this guy? Like, did she put an ad somewhere?
Like, I don't even know. Like, I don't think it's really explained, but there's like, you know, they're just at this huge like party that looks like it was thrown by the editors of Ms. Magazine from the 70s.
I don't know. I kind of felt like I was watching, you know, sometimes you watch like a CW drama and they have these weird parties.
Yeah.
Where it's 3 people are actually on the show and friends and everyone else is just kind of there. They're just extras.
Yeah. Well,
I felt like it was one of those parties.
It was just so weird because it was like, I would say like maybe there were 50 people there at this party. 2 of them were guys. You only had like 2 guys at this party. The donor and Wally.
Yeah, and I'm like, I don't...
Oh, and the bartender.
How many people does Jennifer Aniston and... Like, I feel like she only has 2 friends this whole movie. It's Juliette Lewis and it's Wally. And in the third act, all of a sudden her and Roland are like an item, but all these people are there. They all look like way younger than her.
Okay. This is what I figure. It's probably like all the people from work, the people from like the yoga class or whatever that she and Juliette Lewis take.
Oh, yeah.
You know, Juliette Lewis probably just like invited every like woman she could think of and Wally.
So you think?
To this party.
You think Juliette Lewis was doing the list?
Yeah, because it was like it was like the friend's idea to throw this party and like make it like this like ceremonial like thing. What most normal people do is they go to the doctor's office, they get it inserted and all that stuff. Like the doctor was even kind of sketchy. Like the doctor was there too.
Oh, yeah.
And he looked like the kind of doctor that you see on those documentaries and you're like, oh, so he runs a cult out of his basement.
It's Dr. Oz or fucking Dr. Phil. It's like a TV doctor.
Not even Dr. Oz. Like Dr. Oz looks more reputable than this guy. This guy looks like The guy from the Tiger King stuff, the one from Myrtle Beach.
Doc Antle or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe it was.
He looked like that kind of guy.
You know what? Maybe Doc Antle like briefly got out of the wild animal game and just decided to I don't know, be a doctor. Who knows? Who knows? A fucking OBGYN just for no reason. Like, you know what? I think I'm gonna switch careers up.
But yeah, it's like that kind of like sketchy, like new agey kind of looking like guru type kind of guy.
All right, so this is the part that really kind of baffled me. So while this party is raging on, while this party is like full blown going on, Roland goes into this giant bathroom. This is like the hugest bathroom I've ever seen in like any movie or TV show, especially for New York City.
I mean, it's bigger than the bathroom on New Girl, and that bathroom was huge.
Yeah, this bathroom was like the size of like both Friends' apartments, like the guys and the girls' apartments on Friends. Like the whole party could have hung out in there. And there was this is the second bathroom in this apartment. I want to add, by the way, there's two of them because at one point Jason Bateman tries to use the bathroom and it's occupied. And they tell him to go use the other one, so he does. So while all this party is raging on,
Yeah.
Roland is in there with like a urine specimen cup like you get from the doctor, and he just fills it up. He's like, I just want to throw it there. That cup was like filled to the brim. It was just, there was a lot in there.
And they like gave him whatever he needed to get it going.
Yeah, they had candles in there and magazines and who knows. Like, how long do you think he was in there
Which
for?
makes this even more hilarious what does happen.
I'm going to throw this out there. He was probably in there for less than a minute. Like, I'm not going to lie. Probably just like went in, got it working, filled it up, and like walked out and put it on the little fucking like mug warmer that's right above the toilet on a little shelf.
Yeah, put it on the mug. Like, oh my god. Yes, okay. So, like, if you don't know what we mean by mug warmer, candle warmer, they're like these little things you can get like at Walmart or the candle shop or whatever. They work exactly the same way. They're like the exact same device. They just have different names. But like you put it on and you can it'll melt the wax in the candle.
Yeah.
Heat it up and then you get the scent without the flame, or it'll keep your like coffee or tea or whatever warm all day.
Jason Bateman, so he gets blackout drunk at this party because he's like depressed. He gets blackout drunk. He doesn't remember it. He doesn't even realize what he's doing anymore. So he like stumbles into the bathroom.
Like he doesn't like he's trashed. He's just like, and he goes in the bathroom and he sees this cup. He doesn't realize what it is at first, and he pours it out, and then it's like, oh shit.
Yeah, he pours it.
I gotta replace it. Like he rinses the cup out, and he's like, I gotta replace it. He's like, he picks up like a magazine with Diane Sawyer on it, and does the deed to that.
Oh my god. Out of all people they could have picked to put on the cover of this magazine,
Diane Sawyer.
Primetime Lives, Diane Sawyer. Probably a career low for her.
Actually, she is perfectly happy for her image to be used for this.
She has like a visual appearance in this later on too. She's like, cause Jason Bateman's like watching like Good Morning America or something, and like glimpses her for a hot second.
Yeah, she like pops up, but like her image pops up a couple more times.
And he gets aroused.
Like before he remembers. And then he's like, cause he's like, watch, he's like, what the hell? Like he adjusts his pajama pants.
Yeah, he looks down and he goes like, what's going on?
But yeah, so he gets like stinking drunk and he like replaces the specimen donation seed with his own. And he, like, leaves the party, and he's just trashed out of his mind. And he goes to, like, Jeff Goldblum's apartment, because Jeff Goldblum's, like, his best guy pal.
And boss, too, I think, right?
And coworker. Boss! Like,
yeah, he shows up at Jeff Goldblum's house, like, in the middle of the night. He's just yelling something about a Viking, because he was calling Roland a Viking.
Yes, because they put a Viking hat on him or something.
Oh, okay. And then he just kept muttering something about Diane Sawyer, and I don't know, like Jeff Goldblum just like kept that information to himself because it didn't make any sense. Because why would it? Why would it to him?
Yeah, it like made no sense. Like what? Like none of this makes any sense. Like at all.
So let me get this. Like, I guess then Cassie, she announces that she's pregnant and she's gonna move to Montana or something.
No, Minnesota.
I knew it was one of those states.
Minnesota, because New York is no place to raise a child.
And, they have like a little hug moment. They hug it out and she's like, I promise we'll see each other.
She's like, here, have a puppy.
Oh yeah, she buys him a dog who pisses on the floor like as soon as he gets it.
And he had to like literally replace the floors within a year.
Yeah, because he just got he just like refloored his apartment or something. You know what? He had some extra scratch. Maybe the economy was booming at that in 2003-ish.
Well, I think like the thing is we have to remember is like he's one of those like really smart Wall Street guys.
Oh yeah, he plays it safe.
And I think he does really well. Like really well.
He probably didn't get wrapped up in Enron.
No, he is smarter than that.
Yeah, you know what? Maybe he was a whistleblower. Maybe he was a whistleblower. And he got accolades for that.
Yeah, so
I like to think that.
you know, like it's 7 years. He's had like a couple relationships, nothing sticks.
Yeah, we see glimmers of it a little bit, sorta. He's like out on a date.
He's out on a date and he's kind of like, yeah, it would never work out. Like he puts like the whole like negative aspect of like what would happen if they got together, and she's like she was really hopeful. She like really liked this Wally, and then he lays this all out and he's like, oh. He goes into the whole, like, we could get married, have a nice house in the suburbs, but you know what? I'd work all the time. You would drink all the time because you were bored with the kids. And, like, it's just awful picture of the possibility.
Yeah, he's like, you know what? I'd hate my job, I'd hate my boss, and I would come home and just go to bed and mutter all night long. Something, Diane Sawyer.
Moan while I eat.
So then, you know, she leaves, and then he goes home, and doesn't he get like a voicemail from Jennifer Aniston?
Yeah, like he's at home, and he's like with the dog, and
The dog's older now.
yeah, the dog's like way bigger. Not peeing on the floor so much.
It was a little tiny dog at first, and then now it's this giant, like Clifford the Big Red Dog-sized dog. It was like enormous. It looks like a camel.
I was like, whoa, that is a huge dog. I'm like, maybe I've just got used to tiny dogs in my life.
We don't really like get a lot of scenes with the dog, but he appears in the background of a lot of scenes.
Yeah.
And it always scares me. I'm like, whoa, I forgot about the dog.
You're like, holy shit, there's a dog. Yeah, so he gets the call from Cassie. She's like, hey, I got a job offer from ABC News I couldn't turn down, and I'm moving back to New York. You know, I really want you to meet Sebastian. Oh, you should get him a present. He really likes picture frames.
Yeah, because he's like, oh, so what do you want me to get him? Like a basketball? Like, what are the kids into it? She's like,
a football? Like,
she's like,
a picture frame.
And don't put a picture in it. He likes it without the pictures. So he literally just picks up a picture of him and Jennifer Aniston that was like on his desk. He just slides that picture out and he just, I don't know, wraps it up and he's like, this will be it. And there's a scene with the little kid, like he knows it's a used frame because there wasn't the stock photo in there.
Because there's no picture in it. There's no stock, yeah. So like they meet up at some like Chinese restaurant and the kid's like looking at the fish and Wally's like, oh, he seems perfectly normal. But then the normal kid moves away and like this sad little neurotic child is staring at the fish. Like it's super creepy.
All right, I want to point out, if this movie was made in the 90s, Miko Hughes, like the little kid who played Aaron on Full House, totally would have been this boy. What do you think? I don't know. I just like see it.
If not him, the one who played Derek from Full House.
Really? Yeah, I guess I could see Derek doing it too.
Yeah, because he could probably, like, I feel like one kid's a little too, like, I don't know if he could be, like, chill enough.
Oh, yeah, you're thinking of Miko Hughes as that kid.
Yeah, like...
He was the kid who was literally, like, a murderer in Pet Sematary. He's like a 2-year-old with a knife killing people.
Okay, I never saw the original Pet Sematary.
Well, when we do Miko Hughes March...
I just saw the remake, and I almost fell asleep in the theater, because I always almost fall asleep during a fucking Stephen King movie.
When we do Miko Hughes March, we'll watch Pet Sematary. You can see Gage. That's his name in the movie, Gage. He gets hit by a...
Oh, I can't wait.
He gets hit by a truck, and then his dad buries him in the pet cemetery, so he comes back to life, but he doesn't have a soul, so he's just like a killer. And he's, I don't know, trying to kill his family.
Yeah,
it's
like
great.
that... I mean,
it's wild.
Yeah, in the new one, they changed it so it's like the older daughter.
Every time I see that little kid in something, like if I'm watching like an old... Actually, I was watching Melrose Place, season 1 episode, and that kid plays Jake's like long lost son in one episode.
Who eats the French fries with the mayonnaise.
Yes.
I don't know why, but that has been burned in my head for like the past 30 fucking years.
Yeah, they both they both go to like dip their French fries, and there's like a bowl of ketchup and there's a bowl of mayonnaise, and it's the little kid and Jake at the same time go in, and the mom's pissed because she just wanted like Jake to sign over parental rights to this other random guy, and Jake's like, no, I want to meet him first before I sign anything.
Yeah.
And she gets pissed. It's great. I love it.
Yeah.
We'll also do that for Mika. He's March. And then we'll do,
oh my god.
I don't know. I feel like he's in something else.
But no, really, for some reason, that scene, out of like almost every scene from Melrose Place, that one has been burned in my head for decades.
And then if this movie came out in like 1998, Jonathan Lipnicki would play the boy.
Oh yeah, totally.
And then if it came out in 2001, it would be fucking Haley Joel Osment.
Oh my god. So yeah, it's just like, he's like this little like neurotic child who's a total hypochondriac.
Reads WebMD.
Who, he's got an insane vocabulary. Like, holy crap. The stuff this child can pronounce, I can't even pronounce as an adult. And I'm like, what?
Yeah, he was just rifling off the names of various illnesses and ailments that he read on WebMD. And Jennifer Aniston's like, see, like I told you not to stay up all night reading WebMD again.
She's like, I've told you to stay off web. And there's part of her where she's just like, she like looks at Wally and she's like, I don't even know. Like, I have no explanation. Like, this is not from me. And there's part of Wally who's kind of like,
wait a second.
Kid. And that, like, it doesn't, like, click. That, like, Wally has ordered, like, the duck.
Yeah, we have to talk about this.
For them.
All right.
So, like, he called ahead, ordered the duck.
What the server brings to the table, it looks like they just took an actual duck with legs and a head and neck and everything and just dipped it in the fry-later and just let it get all crispy and then just put it on like a serving plate and brought it over the table. And the neck is like flopping, and Sebastian, the little kid, is like, I can't eat this. He's like, I just want rice and soy sauce. Because he's like really into animals, we learn, right? Like he's an animals activist also.
Yeah, he's your little like animal activist. He wants to have his birthday party later on at a no-kill shelter.
No, he wants to have it at a kill shelter so he can save all the dogs. Yeah.
Right, sorry. Like,
this kid is so woke. He's like so woke.
Like, oh my god, yeah. So he's eating the soy sauce and the rice. And, like, Wally's freaking out because he spent, like, $84 on the damn duck.
Yeah, and
the kid won't eat it.
And the kid just wants rice. Hold on, though. 6-year-olds only like 3 foods. It's macaroni and cheese, chicken fingers, and, like, a hot dog. Like, why did he think this kid was going to eat a duck? Like a fried duck with a neck and everything.
Because he doesn't know kids. Think about it.
Oh, yeah, I guess that makes it. You know what?
Sebastian's really, like, the first kid he's ever been around. Like, the fact that the kid will eat rice and soy sauce, pretty amazing.
Yeah, I don't think I even touched soy sauce till I was like 20.
Really?
To be honest with you. Nah, probably not. I think he was really there to impress Jennifer Aniston. Like, he was like, the kid was just an afterthought.
Oh, yeah, totally. He was trying to impress Cassie because, you know, there's definitely part of Wally that believes that Cassie is kind of like the one that got away.
Technically.
Because he's never been able to properly process his emotions for her. Like, I don't think he consciously thinks of her that way. Deep inside, that's who she is to him, the one that got away.
Oh, for sure. And, like, deep down, she feels the same way, too, but she's just afraid to admit it, I think.
They are, like, the two characters who, you know, you watch for, like, decades on a show, who just, like, you know they belong together. You know they want to be together, but then, like, they just can't say it, and you're just like, just shut up and kiss and have sex and get it over with.
They basically squeezed Ross and Rachel, Robin Scherbatsky, and Ted into one, like, hour-and-a-half movie. Just compressed it.
Yes.
And just kind of gave us the highlights. Just gave us the greatest hits.
Yeah.
You know, we got the the compilation episode that airs at the end of the season, right before the season finale. This is what you've missed the last 10 years of How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah.
In case, you know, tonight's the first night you're watching it for some reason. Here's the hits.
For some reason you said just drop in now.
Yeah, why not? Remember, like, Lost used to always do that? They would have these big introspectives, like, on the night of the season finale. I'm like, wait, why do we need an hour recap?
You know, I, like, actually just, like, last week, for some reason, went and dug up on YouTube those little, like, post-show Lost clips that came out with, like, Ben and Hurley and Waltz.
Oh, yeah, like, the continuing stories or the continuing saga or something.
Yeah, like those little. Oh, I'm just like, man, that's right. Like I had forgotten certain things. I was like, oh, right. I'm like, damn, I just got to sit down and rewatch Lost. That's what I really got to do.
I just want to watch the expose episode over and over again. Razzle dazzle. Call back to episode like, I don't know, 58 for us maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, I think that might actually be it.
All right. So
But yeah.
they're now reacquainted. They're now again in each other's lives. And Jennifer Aniston announces that, you know, while she came back to town, she also looked up Roland.
Yes.
And she actually wants to go meet him. And so she asks Wally if he'll watch the boy for the weekend or the night or some period of time.
Yeah, she's like, hey, can you watch Sebastian? Well, she tells him she has to go to like a new parent orientation thing at his school.
Yeah, but I feel like that was a lie, though. I feel like she just went to go hang out with Roland.
Yeah, it was a lie so that she could go meet Roland. So we get like Wally and Sebastian kind of hanging out, and they're like actually having a pretty good time. Like they're just these little quirks. Like, okay, first at the dinner, Wally noticed that as Sebastian eats, he makes these like moaning sounds, which Wally also does.
Yes, and they stand the same way too.
Which, that alone, how the hell did Jennifer Aniston not question it? If your kid is making the same sounds that like only one other person you've ever met does, you're not going to question it. You're not going to think,
Shortly around this time, I think it's like after their day at the zoo or where the hell they went, she runs into them at the park or something, or Central Park or wherever, or somewhere like where there's a bench, and they're both standing similarly. They both have like their right foot on the bench standing up.
Yeah, like they move in very similarly quirky ways. Like they do certain things like the same, but it's like not things that Sebastian is just picking up because he's with Wally. It's just like, this is what Sebastian's always done. You know, Wally sees it, and it's like they're at the aquarium and like they both have their foot up, and Wally looks over and it's like exactly the same, like to a T kind of thing.
Yeah, that little boy must have just like followed Jason Bateman around for like a month, just picking up on his quirks.
Yeah, it's like, just copy everything Jason does.
So we then get a scene, I think it's like Jason Bateman's at their house, and he's putting the kid to sleep, and he sees all his picture frames, and he's kind of like asking the story, and the little kid he's made up characters of the stock photo models. Like there's this one guy who's his grandfather who's like an adventurer, he's like a fisherman.
Yeah.
There's like another dude that he's close with, like one of his friends, and he just has this whole...
Like he has stories for everybody. He's got like grandpa, he's got the uncle who probably stole an iPod.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. And then he asked Jason Bateman like about his family, his dad, and he's like, well, I don't know him because he left when I was young. And so the kid gets up and he like looks at all the pictures. He's like, who could you have?
Yeah,
and he picks like a father and son, and he just hands it to him.
He's like, here you are, Jason Bateman.
Like,
yeah, there's like one, it's like a silver frame, and it's just like, it looks like a Sears portrait, family portrait.
Yeah.
Father's Day present, and they just threw that picture in there, and they put the little logo on it. And he took it home with him. He actually, like, we get a callback to it in like later on in the episode, movie.
Yeah, later on.
As we aforementioned a little while ago, Jason Bateman's kind of going through these moments. I think at one, he sees Diane Sawyer on the TV.
Yeah.
And he's confused. He's like, why am I aroused by this? And I want to point out, if Jason Bateman was really blackout drunk, he never would have been able to perform that filling up the cup. I just want to throw that out there. I was like, that's some amazing handiwork if he did. But anyway, he ends up going back to Jeff Goldblum, and he's like, hey, can you tell me about this night 7 years ago when I like showed up at your house yelling about a Viking and Diane Sawyer?
He's like, here's the thing. He's like, you know, this kid acts so much like me. Like, he's talking to Jeff Goldblum, and Jeff Goldblum's like, so, Wally, we gotta talk. So, like, 7 years ago, and they put it, he's like, oh my god, I hijacked her pregnancy.
Now, I'm so impressed that they put this together and figured this out, because
yeah,
I don't know how. This is a middle of the night memory for Jeff Goldblum. Like, literally wakes up at 3 a.m. Some drunk coworker of his is his apartment yelling at him.
Yeah, like,
And then Jason Bateman would never, ever remember this. Ever. There's no way he'd put it together. Like, he would not look at a magazine. I mean, he would not see Diane Sawyer on the TV and be like, oh, wait a second. Cassie had a magazine of her next to the toilet 7 years ago when I was blackout drunk. I don't remember anything about that night, but for some reason I had this, like,
Yeah.
well, I mean, maybe. I mean, who knows? Who am I to judge? But I just think it's a wild concept to me. I don't know.
I mean,
But,
there are definitely, like, nights where I drank quite a bit and do not remember things.
the Burbs episode of this podcast.
They are never coming back.
I literally listened to that episode of the podcast. I'm like, wait a second, I don't remember that. So I would never put it together. Even when I hear it, it's just like listening to a new episode, a new moment of my life.
Like, wait, what did we do? Ooh, no wonder Kat was so mad at me.
I love it. Yeah, so he somehow like miraculously puts this together, and he decides he's gonna go tell her, and he like shows up at Cassie's somewhere where Cassie is, and he's about to like spill the news, and she just kind of does that thing that always happens on rom-coms like this, where she assumes it's gonna be profess his love for her, and she just says that, you know, I know why you're here, and she spouts all that out. And then he's just kind of like, oh, yeah, that's why I'm here. Yeah, you know.
Well, it's awkward because she has started to date Roland because she believes Roland is...
The dad.
Even though they're both blonde people with blue eyes. And this kid...
Is brown-haired.
Is not blonde. Does not have blue eyes.
Well, the eye thing, I was reading this, eye color doesn't matter, but the hair color potentially could. Like, it's not... It's not uncommon for, you know, two people with blue eyes to have a brown-eyed child. That's kind of like a goof in the continuum of the movie, the continuity of the movie. But yeah. So Roland is divorced 7 years later, right?
Yes. Which, okay, like, honestly, are we surprised he's divorced? No.
Yeah, because I don't even think they gave his wife like a name. I don't think they ever gave.
Yeah.
Like, I think in IMDb it just says like Roland's wife.
Yeah, like she looked so uncomfortable during the party. Like, I think if maybe it had just been like a normal thing where he like went to a doctor's office and all that, there wasn't like this grand ceremony, maybe the wife would have been a little cooler. But I feel like this is potentially not the only time he did a donation during their marriage. Okay.
You think, all right, I'm assuming Jennifer Aniston paid him.
Yeah, I think she paid him. I think they like, and the wife was like, oh, are you sure this is really the only way we can get that extra, like, $500 we need or whatever?
That's it? That's all it costs? I feel like that's going to be more than that.
I don't know.
I would say at a minimum.
Okay, to be fair, how much does a guy get paid for a sperm donation? Maybe $200?
All right.
I think so, yeah.
If Jennifer Aniston knocked on my door, right? She was going door to door looking for sperm donation.
I found a website for 1 unit.
What's a unit? It's like one load?
Let's see.
Does it go by weight?
It doesn't exactly explain what a unit is.
Do you want it to be dense? Like the density?
I just know that 1 unit, according to this donor sperm pricing website, is $335.
That's it? Wow. I don't know.
Okay, because here's the thing. Okay, think about it. A sperm donation, how easy is that to do?
All right. So, here's what I'm thinking. So, if you, like, at a sperm bank, I feel, all right, that makes sense. But I feel like if you specifically found a person, like you knew the person,
yeah,
and they might just randomly show up at your doorstep one day, I feel like you got to create some kind of contract and then then give them a lot of money so they never come to you ever again. They just disappear from your life.
So,
that's why I'm looking at 10 grand at a minimum.
Okay, because here's the thing. Egg donation is like, the woman gets paid like $10,000. But it's far more invasive, and they have to be like injected with hormones and shit first.
That is true. And I'm thinking like a surrogate mom must get paid bank. Like, I wonder how much Beyonce's surrogate mom got paid.
Ooh.
And then you run the risk of them taking off with your child.
It doesn't say. I can't find but that you got to make a pretty penny for that because you have to put like your whole life.
Yeah.
Pregnancy is a whole thing to like.
I don't know. writers of this movie, if you listen to this, we want to know how much Jennifer Aniston paid Roland. We're dying to know.
Minimum. Okay, I found some costs. Minimum for a surrogate would be $20,000. The max is usually about $50,000.
All right, I'd take 50. If it were me, I'd be like, give me 50.
If you're gonna make me go through a freaking pregnancy that could end in like death, you better be paying me or my family $50,000 at least.
Yeah, you could have toxemia.
Yeah.
You never know. All the crazy things that could happen. So, yeah, give me 50 G's. Beyonce. Come on, Bae. You know what? No, Bae gave me 500.
Yeah. Oh, for someone like Beyonce or like anybody else who does the whole like secret surrogate thing, they're paying even more because they, one, to keep it secret. Two, because they gotta have the NDA. They gotta like make sure this person financially set so they don't feel the need to go sell the story.
Yeah, it's not 30 years later, and I don't know, Janice from Kentucky just knocks on Beyonce's door, and it's like,
Let the world know I really gave birth to Blue Ivy.
all right, so we get like a weird, there's like a weird birthday party for Sebastian. It's his 7th birthday, and it's at like a rock climbing place, because Sebastian wanted to have it at a kill shelter so that he could,
Yes.
people who come to his party to, leave with the dogs so they don't die. But Roland, I guess, is like a buff, muscular dude. He's athletic.
Yeah.
And he assumes that this kid is going to love a rock climbing thing, where they hook you up and you climb those little rocks.
Yeah, he like convinces Jennifer Aniston instead to like do rock climbing when, she probably would have preferred like a bowling alley.
Yeah, or like a Chuck E. Cheese or something.
Like, like
Dave and Buster's.
something like a little more, like, rock climbing is so not this kid. Like, it's like, dude, have you ever met this kid before? I don't think he had. That's the other thing. It's like, this kid is like, who is this dude? I just want Wally. Like, the kid is definitely, like, connected with Wally.
But Sebastian somehow manages to climb halfway up the rock wall and then realizes he can't go up or down. So he's screaming for help.
Mm-hmm.
And Roland, he tries to be the hero and tries to run up and save the day. And Sebastian's freaking out. He's like, don't touch me. Who are you? He's screaming. He's like, get away from me. Stranger danger.
Yeah.
All this thing. And he runs over it and starts hugging Jennifer Aniston. And then with his left hand, he grabs Jason Bateman's hand.
He reaches out.
And Roland sees it. And I think Roland knows. Roland knows, I think.
Oh, it's the cutest, sweetest. I think there's this desperation from Roland, though. Okay, because here's the thing. This does not, take place over months. It takes place over a very short period of time when you get down to it. Because next thing you know, Cassie's going away with Roland to his family, home in Michigan. And that's when he gets lice, and Jason Bateman takes care of him and has to get, all the lice out and stuff.
Forgot about that scene.
And he gets the picture frame from the kid.
I forgot about. They actually showed the lice crawling around in hair, and it was disgusting.
I was like, I was like, my head's starting to feel itchy just watching that scene. Yikes.
I know. I was checking my hair. I was like, I wonder if I have lice just from watching this.
I'm like, good thing I'm gonna go bleach my roots later.
You just shave off all your hair.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so, I don't know. Jennifer Aniston's trying to make it work with Roland. I feel like she just kind of puts the kid off on Jason Bateman. Just kind of here, you be just take care of my kid so I can be child free for 3 months. I don't know. I feel like there was just if things started to get really serious with Roland, I feel like Jennifer Aniston would have been asking Jason Bateman to be a babysitter a lot of nights. And then I have this other theory that, you know what, maybe she was moving back to New York not just because of the ABC News job, but also because she needed a good babysitter.
Maybe.
I don't know. She could be the villain in the story. She could be the villain.
Thing is, I think because she believes, she has no reason to really question that Roland was the sperm donor. So I think she's trying to give that family to her son. I think that's why she dives into this relationship with Roland.
Okay. Oh, because he's no longer tied down. She's free. Yeah. And then it's you know what? He's, in quotes, she thinks he's the dad. So we might as well make it work. So, yeah.
But there is a part of her that really wishes Wally were the dad.
Yeah, and she's got regrets. She's like, oh man, I should have asked him to fill the cup for me.
So then, Sebastian goes to, a friend's birthday party, And earlier in the movie, he had been talking to Wally about this kid at school who kind of like picked on him, and Wally's like, just act crazy. So the kid gets into like a little fight, gets like scratched up on the cheek or something, and he like leaves the party. He like just leaves the party. Like, this party is probably not more than a couple blocks from like his house where his mom is, but instead he goes.
Yeah, I assumed it was a neighborhood party.
Yeah, like he goes 20 blocks away to Wally's apartment. So, like, this kid is, like, this is my grown-up that I need to go to. Like, that's who he sees Wally as. And when Wally brings him home, that kind of, like, crushes Roland. But that's not the only crush Roland's about to get.
No! Whoa, what happens? What happens to poor Roland?
So, okay.
To poor guy from the Conjuring movies.
Like, Roland's whole family is in town. And they're having, like, this brunch party that Wally's not invited to.
No. It's a nice party, I will add.
Yeah, it's like a nice party. The creepy, ditzy friend, Juliette Lewis, is there.
Yeah, why is she there? What the fuck is she?
And it's like, everybody's dressed up really nicely. They're having, like, mimosas. There's, like, a nice spread of lox and muffins and whatever, and bagels.
It's like there's a caterer there somewhere roaming around.
Like, this is a fancy brunch.
Yes, this is like a dynasty Dallas family affair right here.
But his family's in town, and...
This is the Ewings and the Carringtons.
Like, I don't know if she's just trying to, like, impress his family, or this is the kind of thing his family expects. I kind of get the feeling this is the sort of thing his family expects.
I have a question. Do we know what Roland does? Like, what's his career?
Well, like, earlier I think it was like that he was like an assistant professor. So maybe now he's a professor.
Okay, I just assumed he was like a banker or something. Like, nothing exciting.
No,
nothing great.
I mean,
and then they threw in this like story where all of a sudden he has this like a rich family, and I'm like, whoa, where did this come from?
Yeah, I'm like, where was that family when you needed money and you had to donate sperm?
Like, I feel like the family would frown upon that for some reason.
I'm guessing the family didn't like the wife. So they cut him off until like the divorce.
Oh, she was just like she was a girl from the wrong side of the tracks kind of thing. She's probably a bartender somewhere.
Yeah.
She worked at Finnegan's on 34th Street. And they found out that she was a cocktail waitress, and they're like, "Ugh, can't believe you bring her around."
Yeah, so
they like, you know what? They probably paid her off. They paid her off to leave.
So like, pretty much like, Jennifer Aniston's like, "What the heck happened to my kid?" He's like, "I gave him advice a while ago. That was the wrong advice to give him, and he got into a fight, yada yada. He's okay, but like, we gotta talk, because he's like, he can't hold it in anymore. He's like, the kid is mine." Like, he's my kid. He is not Roland's kid. Like, Roland's about to, like, pop the question. And, like, Roland is just, like, always shoving shit in Wally's face. He's like, oh, yeah. Like, the minute they meet at that damn insemination party until, like, now, he's always, like, confiding in Wally about stuff. And it's like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? Like, why are you talking to this dude?
I think there was a scene earlier on in the movie where Roland's like, hey, we should totally be bros. You want to go out for a beer later?
Yeah, and then he, like, drags him for a beer. And he's like, I can't get the kid to connect with me. And Wally's like, yeah, I wonder why.
Did he know that? Did Wally know at that point? Or is this before?
I don't think he knew then.
Okay.
I think, like, he started putting the pieces together.
Okay. The only thing that kind of, but bummed me out of what Roland is, he's just like your typical rom-com quote-unquote villain. Like, I don't know. I feel like we should have got a little more depth, a little more background character. I would have liked to have known a little bit more about him.
Yeah, he was not that important in the long run. Like, he is just like this little roadblock.
Yeah, he's like the other girl in that Adam Sandler, Jennifer Aniston movie that we are talking about earlier. Like, she's got to have it or something. Just go with it or whatever.
Yeah.
She's just that person that you don't root for whatsoever, and you just have to deal with them for an hour and a half, and then they go away, and then the two people that shouldn't be together get together. So I don't know. I just want like a good rom-com where like they actually have like a fully fleshed out villain guy, but I don't know. It's very rare. Can you even think of a movie where you get one where you actually like the other person? Like,
what do you mean? Like, you like the boyfriend that they really shouldn't be with?
Yeah, like the villain of the story.
Ooh, it's been a while. Like, I can't think of anything off the top of my head.
Does Nora Ephron have one out there where like she makes the villain like an actual interesting character?
I mean,
I feel like she might.
I mean, you don't really hate Greg. You don't really hate Greg Kinnear in You've Got Mail. You know?
No, but
You just don't see what Kathleen sees in him in the first place.
yeah, but there's still we're not supposed to care about their failings in the story.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's just
I don't.
it's a little trope that always bothers me in these movies. Like, you know, they just have this person, they're just like a cock block or a twat swat for like an hour and a half, and then they just go away. Like, they're gone. We don't have to deal with them anymore. And you're like, but that person has feelings too.
Ooh, Sweet Home Alabama.
Is that Reese Witherspoon?
Patrick Dempsey.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right.
Because you don't hate him. He's perfectly, like, he's supportive of Reese's character, of Melanie, you know?
That is true. Okay. Ooh, all right.
Like,
whoever made that movie, kudos to you.
oh, man, I gotta watch that movie. That's, like, the 5th time it's come up in my, like, mind in the past, like, 3 days.
Maybe we'll do it for Patrick Dempsey, like, July.
I thought it was Patrick Dempsey April.
All right, how does this movie end? How does things wrap up in a
Okay.
tight little bow for us?
You know, Jason Bateman goes back to his, like, sad little life of making lots of money and working all the time. And he comes out of work one day and there's, like, Jennifer Aniston. And she's wanting to talk to him. And she's like, you're right. You're Sebastian's father. He misses you.
Let's get married.
Yada, yada. And then he goes, well, no. He goes, will you marry me? And she goes, probably. And then we cut to, like, Sebastian's 8th birthday. And they got a nice little, like, suburban house on Long Island.
That overlooks the city, yeah.
Yeah, like, but it's, like, got a water view. So it's, like, nice.
Yeah,
And
it's a fancy neighborhood. They live in the good part of town. You know, she's got that ABC money. I feel like she probably, like, works next to Diane Sawyer now for some reason. Like, maybe her and Diane are
yeah, she's probably, like,
co-workers.
producing Diane Sawyer's, like, news pieces or something.
Or hold on, is The Switch a prequel to The Morning Show? I've never seen The Morning Show, so I don't know. But
I've never seen The Morning Show either. I have Apple TV on the TV, so maybe I should just watch it.
yeah, I should dip into it. See if this potentially could be a prequel to The Morning Show. The Morning Show takes place 10 years later.
I have a feeling not so much.
She talks about her often mentioned but never seen son who's now away at college, probably. It's probably college age now, right?
No, because I think on The Morning Show, like, her character is, like, one of the anchors with Steve Carell or something.
Yes. And she gets The Morning Show. I don't know. Who knows? Is Diane Sawyer in it? Is she in it?
No.
You know what? I always called it The Newsroom, but that's another show.
No, it's Reese Witherspoon and Jennifer Aniston. See, it all connects.
Can't wait to see it. All right. The only part that kind of bothered me, though, is, all right, so Jason Bateman reveals during Roland's proposal that he's the real dad. And then we get like a 15-second montage of what I guess is like a month or maybe more. I don't know how long it's supposed to be. And
Yeah.
we don't really get a catalyst that kind of brings them together. She just shows up at the house. And I was kind of like, I was expecting more. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, how is he going to get his way out of this one? I didn't know if like Jeff Goldblum would be involved. Or
Yeah.
maybe her and Juliette Lewis go to a psychic, get their palms read or something, to the tarot cards. Maybe they reconvene at a Lana Del Rey concert, maybe, and there's like a lyric in a Lana Del Rey song that...
I mean, this is before Lana Del Rey was even a thing, Patrick.
She might have been Lizzie Grant. She might have done that Lizzie Grant album before she was Lana Del Rey. I don't know. Let's look it up. Let's look up her
I don't even know.
origins. But I feel it's like almost around this time.
I mean, she's 35.
Trying to find her discography. 2010 was when her debut album came out. But she did have an EP in 2008.
Not yet. Like,
Well, you know what? Maybe Juliette Lewis was like, she just found the video game song on YouTube, and she's like, you know what? You gotta hear this song, Cassie. You gotta hear this song. It's gonna remind you of growing up
yeah.
and your lost loves. And she listened to it. She's like, yeah, I guess you're right. Do they live together? Like, are they roommates? I don't know. Like,
No, they're not roommates. They're not roommates.
okay, I don't know. You know what? I want to know more about Juliette Lewis's character. I feel like we should get like a spin-off, just like a 8-episode miniseries.
The only thing that I know for sure is that apparently Juliette Lewis's character and Jeff Goldblum never like really connected until the kid's birthday party at the end.
Yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, and I wonder if Juliette Lewis and Jennifer Aniston kept in touch over the years too, because we know she never came back to New York City. Did Juliette Lewis fly to Michigan or Minnesota or wherever you said they went?
No, you mean Minnesota? No way.
You don't think so?
No, Juliette Lewis's character is totally the type who has probably actually never left New York City.
Like ever? She was born there. She was born
She was born in New York City. She has never left. She's never gone like out of the city limits.
Do you think it's like a Gina Davis and Beetlejuice scenario where like as soon as she steps out of the city limits, it's just like monsters all around. That's all she sees.
No, I think it's just like why she's got the whole like why do you need to leave New York when you know you got everything you need in these 5 boroughs.
I was born in an alley behind I don't know in Broadway somewhere, showing of
Godspell.
Godless or Spellbound or whatever it's called. Spellbound.
Godspell.
Godspell. What did I call it? Spellbound.
Spellbound.
I always said I said Godless, but so it's kind of close.
Mm-hmm.
And I never left. It's a city I love. It's a city. You know what? She should be the new Kim Cattrall in the new like Sex and the City Amazon thing that they're doing or whatever.
Wait,
it's coming out soon.
What are you talking about?
They're doing like an 8-episode Sex and the City like miniseries, but Kim Cattrall's not gonna be in it. So Juliette Lewis should be the new Kim Cattrall. Like they actually are just gonna replace the actress. Like they're gonna keep the character. We'll just have a new Samantha.
Okay, I'm just gonna be honest. Like,
just a spider.
I'm burned out on Sex in the City. Like,
yeah.
Even like the thought of just like watching reruns sounds exhausting.
About a year, maybe 2 years ago, I tried to do a rewatch. I could not get through like 4 episodes. I was like, next.
Yeah,
I was like, I'll just watch Square Pegs instead, or whatever that other sitcom that she was on.
Did not age well.
It was just boring. I don't know. It was exciting at one point in time, and now I'm just like, Like I'm only here for what's her name? Miranda? Yeah, I like Miranda. And Kristen Davis's character I like too, but I'm like, Sarah Jessica Parker, I'm just like boring as hell.
Yeah.
Not for me. But you know what? If Juliette Lewis announced tomorrow that she's taking over the role of Samantha, I'd be all in. All in. I would love to see what you do with it. You know what? They could have like a joke where she's like, she went and got plastic surgery. She had to go on Botched because they did a horrible job. She looks like a completely different person. Mm-hmm. And that's the explanation.
I mean, that's probably what's going to happen.
I love it. You know what? Do some crazy Dynasty level stuff where like, it just starts off, you just see like a blonde haired woman driving a convertible and she gets in like an accident and glass gets all over her face and she has the bandages around her face for like an episode. Mm-hmm. And then they do the big reveal and they take it off and it's a different actress.
I mean,
that's what we want. Do that.
I feel like I tried to watch like both Sex and the City movies and they were just like, they both felt like they went on for far too long.
Well, I think the first one was like, hey, they're back. And the second one's like, yeah, we don't need this.
Yeah.
It's not needed. It's like every X-Files movie.
I mean,
like, we don't need this.
In all honesty, both movies are just like 2 extra seasons.
Pretty much, right? Like lengthwise, if you just...
Yeah.
You know what? If for some reason DVDs did not exist and television syndication was still a thing, when they got to the point, they would just cut the episodes up into like 23-minute chunks. Like they used to do with like G.I. Joe, the movie, back in the day.
They could.
I'm going to ask the age-old question. You ready for the age-old question?
Yeah.
On a scale of 1 out of 5 magazines with Diane Sawyer on the cover, how many magazines with Diane Sawyer on the cover would you rate 2010's The Switch? Are we going to get a rare cat 5? Are we going to get a middling 3? Or are we going to get a dud? A Dudley Wunley?
You're going to get a 4.
Whoa! I was not expecting that. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to give it a 4 also. I probably would have given it a perfect score, but I felt like it took too long for the movie to get really cooking. I thought like the first half was kind of like but
it did take a little while to get started.
Yeah, because I was definitely watching this being like, like there's an hour left of this, but then it flashed forwarded 7 years and it actually got exciting.
Yeah.
And
I think they could have like condensed the first part and spent more time on like later half. It would have been a 5, but it's a pretty good movie.
And I usually
It's a very good script for Jason Bateman.
It is, and I usually hate child actors, but this kid was actually not bad. Like, I'd watch other movies with him, and I don't know what he's done. He's probably like a grown man now, but...
Oh, yeah, probably.
But, you know, I was like, oh, he's not too bad, not too shabby. Yeah, I don't know. I would have wanted more fun adventures with Jason and the kid. They probably could have fleshed out Juliette Lewis's character a little bit more. I don't know. I just want to know more about her for some reason. Is she in a band now? Who knows?
I mean, I feel like the character Juliette Lewis played was probably that kid, the girl who, like, in most rom-coms is like, oh, you don't want Wally. You don't, like, is talking the best friend out of being with the guy they should be with.
All right. I gathered that she liked Wally, but he didn't like her. That was my impression. That was my takeaway.
Oh yeah, he could not stand her. She's just too, like, eccentric, new age, hippie type.
And he was not into that. But I don't know. I feel like she liked him, though. I don't know. I didn't get animosity. It's not like the friend with the hands on her hips.
There was some animosity. She's like, oh, hey, Wally. Like...
Yeah, maybe. Well, because he didn't accept her friend request in the last 7 years.
And he's like, geez, wonder why.
At least he was honest, you know?
Yeah.
I want to know the inner workings of her friendship with Jennifer Aniston. I want to know, like, how this begat and where it's going and how she really feels about her. That's why I said I want, like, an 8-episode spin-off miniseries of the adventures of Juliette Lewis's character from the Switch.
Oh, God.
Maybe she was in on, maybe she set this whole thing up. Maybe she, like, planted the seeds in the bathroom. Maybe she was the person that was in the other bathroom that was like, use the other bathroom. Maybe she put the Diane Sawyer magazine on next to the toilet so he would find it.
This will get Wally all excited. Some Diane Sawyer.
I would have loved if, like, Diane Sawyer just showed up at the end for no reason at all. Just like,
oh, I know, right?
They're walking down the street, Jennifer Aniston and Jason Bateman, they're holding hands, and they walk by Diane Sawyer, and she, like, smiles at him, and he gets a little hot and bothered for a moment. He's like, oh, that's the reason why we have him. All right, I'm excited for next week. I don't know about you.
So excited for this.
All right, we're dipping into an after-school special for the first time ever, right? We're going back to the 80s, the early days. We're gonna do one with the star of the movie is not Dream Man, but your boyfriend thought he was Dream Man at one point in time. Who's one of the contenders?
Yes, he keeps calling him my boyfriend, which is just hilarious. I don't understand. It's just an actor who is just. He's an interesting personality. He tells interesting stories. He's just, like, there's something about him I find fascinating.
Like, could you possibly dedicate a whole month of podcast episodes to this actor? Like, if he actually decided for some reason to do a theme month again?
Oh, yeah. 100%. Because this actor has been in, like, things since, like, even longer than Jason Bateman.
Yes, he goes way back. He goes back to...
So, way back.
He's part of the Brat Pack, right? He's in the Brat Pack.
Yes.
Yeah, he's an OG member.
This guy has his own podcast.
Yeah, literally, with Rob Lowe,
yes.
Is what it's called. Yes, we're doing a Rob Lowe after-school special. I believe it's called Schoolboy Father.
Yes.
It's the name of it, which, I don't know. The name is not the best title, I think, but I guess
to be fair, like, those after-school specials never had, like, the best titles.
They did not. Yeah.
I just remember we had to watch, like, if we were not watched, like, very special episodes of, like, The Wonder Years or Fresh Prince of Bel-Air or whatever, we were watching, like, after-school specials or made-for-TV movies in my health class. Like,
yeah, you know what? That's all health class was in the 90s, was watching things from the late 70s, early 80s that had a message. Because I remember seeing, like, an after-school special with, like, Scott Baio. I think he did steroids. I think that was it. I think that was the theme. Or drug. I don't know.
Sounds about right.
I just remember seeing Scott Baio and just being like, why are we watching this in 1997?
I just remember we would, like, in middle school, we would, like, spend those, like, 40 minutes of the class or whatever, like, watching.
Yeah, a very special episode of Fresh Prince where there's, I don't know, Carlton brings a gun to school or something.
Where Carlton takes speed at the prom.
Yeah, because it's like getting close to the dance, the big dance, and it's like you got to remind kids that you shouldn't do do speed and go to dances because, I don't know, you might dance to Tom Jones music really fast.
Exactly.
Faster than the tempo of the movie.
Oh my god.
I love it. Yeah. But next week we're gonna find out what happens to Rob Lowe when he impregnates somebody as a teenager and he has to go to school at the same time, I think. Is that the gist of the movie?
I don't know. We found it on YouTube, so
Yeah, it's on, if you want to watch it, it's only like an hour. Probably not even. It's like 45 minutes probably.
yeah.
Cut out the commercials, but we're gonna go back in time and I don't know. We'll see what we think of the style of his hair. I don't know. The cars. I don't know. We'll be excited about the mom, maybe. I feel like Rob Lowe's mom will really like for some reason.
Oh my god. It's going to be interesting to watch. Like, I haven't actually watched it yet.
Yeah, I haven't watched it yet, so I don't know.
So.
I'm scared. I'm excited. I'm intrigued. Checking off all the boxes. I don't know. Mm-hmm. And who knows? Who knows what'll happen after we watch this? Because we don't know what we're doing after this, so.
Yeah, we have no clue.
We have no clues. This is the end of our list. As of right now.
Yes.
So join us next week when we watch Schoolboy Father, starring our boy, Rob Lowe. Future star, Rob Lowe. America's Rob Lowe. All right. Where can you follow our wild adventures, Kat also the author? Where can you follow us?
You can follow us on Twitter at Very Podcast. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, Tumblr at A Very Special Podcast. Do not accept invitations. You'll found us either on Spotify, iHeartRadio, iTunes, YouTube, Podcast Addict, or some other podcast agitator. And so you should subscribe, follow us, review us, and support us on Patreon.
And as always, girl, as always,
Bye!
it's always been you.